where do you see Arvind Kejriwal go from here?
I was saying, Preeti, if I can be heard now, I was saying that I'm no particular expert in Arvind's body language, his style, and what he can do. If only I had known all these things, history would have been somewhat different. So I can't claim to be much of an analyst. All I would say is that in this entire discussion, we just assume that there is a very strong adversarial relationship between the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, which does appear to be the case today. And yes, it is correct to see CBI moves as political moves. And the whole point is to try and change the equation for 2024. That's how I read it, because the manner of arrest, the whole drama about arrest, and the media orchestrated reaction. All this is BJP's way of creating a certain pitch for 2024. But I would urge everyone to also entertain one more possibility, because as all of us know, the ideological distance between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party of today is not as much as would be the case with other opposition parties. Aam Aadmi Party is a non-BJP party, but is it truly a party opposed to the present regime in terms of its ideological political positions? That is not clear. Some people would also say that if BJP wants a short-term opposition, then it's the Aam Aadmi Party that BJP might wish to prop up. I'm not saying that's what they are doing. I'm not saying the CBI is playing all those games. But please do remember that in the short term, if Aam Aadmi Party's stock goes up, say in states like Gujarat, in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, the beneficiary is the BJP.
That Mr. Yogendra Yadav has made Rajdeep a point that has been echoed many times over by the Congress, that ultimately the Aam Aadmi Party is the team B of the BJP, and really one doesn't have to look too far. Look at the fine print of the Gujarat elections. Who benefited, of Aam Aadmi Party coming in there? The BJP. The debacle of Congress rests on the shoulders of the Aam Aadmi Party, and if now he goes ahead and fights, say, Chhattisgarh, looks at Madhya Pradesh, looks at Rajasthan, who benefits?
Look, I don't for once agree with due respect to Professor Yadav. I actually think that there is a large section of the BJP that actually sees Arvind Kejriwal as their real threat going ahead, particularly into 2029, if you look at a long-term horizon, and actually believes that their perfect enemy at the moment is the Congress under Rahul Gandhi. This Yogendra ji may not agree with that, but that's the sense I get speaking to BJP leaders, that they are far more comfortable taking on the Congress than they are Aam Aadmi Party. There may be questions over the timing of Mr. Sisodia's arrest at a time when the BJP and the Modi government found itself being targeted by several opposition parties during the parliament session on the Adani question. Manish's arrest takes place even though the questioning had started several months earlier. So there could be questions over the timing of the arrest. But to suggest that the AAP is being propped up by the BJP, I'm not so sure. And I think that really will, that is something we will have to see in the next 1 year. I think what the AAP is doing, Preeti, is it's challenging Congress in different states. The AAP strategy over the last couple of years after they won Delhi was to go to states where they thought the Congress is vulnerable and thereby try and occupy that Congress space. That they are doing, or that they are attempting to do, as they attempted in Gujarat. But to suggest from there that the BJP is propping up AAP, or the BJP wants to, use this instance to prop up Mr. Kejriwal, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of animosity that exists between the BJP and AAP as well. So I have a slightly different take on that.
Yogendra Yadav wants to come in, and I'll go back to Rahul Srivastava. But Yogendra Yadav, then one can say the same. Practically, if the results are to go by tomorrow in the two states of Meghalaya and Tripura, of what exit polls suggest, then one can say the same of the TMC as well, that it's the team B of the BJP. Ultimately, it's the BJP that's benefiting in these two states with the TMC coming in.
Preeti, this language of Team B started with you. Actually, I was saying something somewhat different, and that's probably why Rajdeep misunderstood
Apologies,
my point.
Sir. Sorry.
I actually see the relationship between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party as similar to that of between DMK and ADMK. They are cutter enemies of each other, and they are cutter enemies precisely because they are so close to each other. This is the kind of relationship I was talking about. And while in the long term, absolutely, I completely agree that BJP would see Arvind Kejriwal as a long-term threat that they have to deal with. In the short term, which is to say up to 2024, there is a strange convergence between BJP's long-term designs of wanting to have a Congress Mukt Bharat and Aam Aadmi Party's short-term project of first eliminating the Congress and then occupying that space itself. So
Yeah,
there
right.
is a strange convergence. Does that convergence lead to a conscious attempt to prop it up? No, probably not. All I would say is, in whatever calculations you are making, please do not forget this very strange and very odd convergence between two very serious rivals. This is what happens in politics so often, and I would like Rajdeep just to keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying.